My understanding from speaking to colleagues who were at the meeting is that the meeting went very well. Both presidents were very warm with each other, very friendly. I think they had a rapport and they hit it off, which is always wonderful. I think at these high-level summit meetings, personal chemistry is always important, and the fact that they hit it off and were very friendly immediately is very significant. It also went very well because they covered so many subjects. They both showed appreciation for each other's countries, for each other's peoples. President Trump described the Kurdish people as a great people. President Nechirvan Barzani thanked the US for supporting the Peshmerga and supporting us against in the fight against ISIS. So there were these reciprocal notes of appreciation, which again are very important. We need to thank our friends and allies, and we always appreciate it when the US thanks the Peshmerga as well. Besides that, they also talked about the current situation in the rest of Iraq, in the wider neighborhood. We live in a tough neighborhood, so what happens in Iran, in Turkey, in Syria, in even Saudi Arabia and Jordan, all of our neighborhood is important for us, but also significant for the United States. So they discussed Iraq, they discussed the neighborhood, and then they also discussed how Kurdistan region and the United States can have a much greater cooperation on the economic front. And I think that's also a very significant development. There are many firsts that we all witnessed today. This is the first time President Nechirvan Barzani, as president of Kurdistan region, is meeting with a US president. It's the first time that President Nechirvan Barzani meets with President Trump. It's the first such level meeting since 2015, when President Masoud Barzani came to Washington and met with President Obama. Besides that, I think the fact that they met at Davos, they had the Kurdistan flag as well as the Iraqi and American flags behind them. The topics that they discussed, the fight against ISIS, that terrorism is not over, but also how can we deepen the economic ties between Kurdistan region and the United States. These are issues that, as far as I'm aware, in our recent discussions at that level have not really been touched on. So lots of firsts that we witnessed today and lots for us to be pleased about. Well, you know, this time last year, January last year, 2019, Secretary Pompeo visited Erbil. He met with then Prime Minister Nechirvan Barzani and then Chancellor of the Kurdistan Security Council, Masroor Barzani. He also met with former President Masoud Barzani, and he met with others who were in those meetings. And that was a very important meeting for us. It began the year on a very good footing. But really, we didn't see a high-level visitor for a very long time to Erbil, or that level of meeting, until Vice President Pence visited Erbil. I believe it was in November. So there was a long gap. But now we've had a meeting between Vice President Pence with President Barzani late last year. And then we begin 2020 with this wonderful meeting in Davos between Nechirvan Barzani and President Trump. And the two of them have a very good meeting. I hope this is a very good harbinger for what we might see in 2020. We've had a lot of meetings recently with the US government, different departments, about how we can broaden our relationship with the United States. We want to keep the security partnership that we have. This is essential because ISIS remains a threat, but we also want to do much, much more because Kurdistan has much more to offer the United States, as the United States has to offer Kurdistan. I'm hoping that the relationship will continue to be strong and will broaden. We still have a humanitarian crisis in Kurdistan, so we still need USAID and these American NGOs to be helping us in Kurdistan. The Yazidis and Christian communities, I know, feel much more confident when there is US engagement in Kurdistan and Iraq, and I think they will be reassured by the meeting that took place today in Davos as well.